All right, everyone, buckle up because today we're diving deep into a marketing powerhouse that's, well, kind of taking the internet by storm.
Hmm, intriguing. I'm all ears. What company are we dissecting today?
We're talking about Hims, yeah, the men's wellness brand. They're
Yeah.
everywhere.
Hymns, yes. I've seen their ads. They're hard to miss, actually.
Right. And we're going to figure out how W they're doing it. Like, how W are they achieving such crazy growth and, get this, staying profitable while they're at it?
Profitable. That's interesting.
Super interesting, right? We've got this awesome YouTube video breaking down their whole strategy, and we're going to pick it apart.
Sounds like a plan. I'm always curious to learn from the best, especially in this ever-evolving marketing landscape.
Exactly. And the best part, we're going to pull out the takeaways that you can actually use,
Mhm.
whether you're like a marketing guru or just curious about how businesses win big.
Now, that's what I call valuable insight.
Okay, so first things first, let's talk numbers. Because Hims isn't just like growing, they're crushing it. Last quarter alone, they pulled in $41 million in revenue.
41 million. Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, and they're on track to hit over $1 billion annually. Like, that's billion with a B.
That's some serious growth. But what's even more impressive is that you mentioned profitability. That's not something you see every day, especially at that scale.
You got it. They're growing at like, what is it, 77% year on year, and they're actually making money doing it.
That's what makes them so fascinating to study. Most companies at that stage are all about growth at all costs, even if it means burning through cash.
Right. They're like the unicorn of the startup world. So
Hmm.
how are they doing it? Well, one of the keys, and this might sound crazy, is that they reinvest almost half of their revenue back into marketing.
Wait, half? That seems like a lot. Wouldn't most businesses hesitate to pump that much money back into marketing?
Yeah, I know, right? You'd think they'd be holding on to every penny, especially with the whole uncertain economic times thing everyone keeps talking about.
It does seem counterintuitive. But here's the thing. Their marketing isn't just about awareness. It's a well-oiled machine designed to bring in customers who keep coming back for more.
So it's not just spending, it's strategic investing. They put money into marketing and get even more money out. It's a cycle.
Exactly. And that's how they sustain this incredible growth. It's like a snowball effect, you know?
Yeah.
It just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
I like that analogy, the snowball of success. And speaking of things that might surprise you, let's talk about their website.
All right, what about it?
Well, you'd think with all that marketing money they're throwing around, they'd have like the most elaborate, flashy website ever.
Yeah, you'd assume they'd go all out with bells and whistles.
Right. But it's actually surprisingly simple, almost minimalist.
Hmm, that is interesting. Maybe there's a method to their madness.
There totally is. So remember all that marketing we talked about? Well, by the time someone actually lands on the Hims website, they're already pretty familiar with the brand.
Ah, I see. So they don't need to do the hard sell on the website because the marketing has already laid the groundwork.
Bingo. So the website doesn't have to be this big, overwhelming sales pitch. It's more about a smooth user experience.
Makes sense. Less is more in this case. They get straight to the point. No distractions.
Exactly. And it's like they know people are still a little hesitant,
Mhm.
so they sprinkle in these like credibility boosters.
Credibility boosters? Like what?
Things like trusted by over 1 million subscribers.
Ah, subtle but effective. It reassures potential customers that they're not alone.
Totally. It's all about building that trust, especially in a space like men's wellness, where people can be a bit, unsure or maybe even a little embarrassed.
It's smart. They anticipate those concerns and address them head on. Now, what about their content marketing strategy? I've heard they've got this blog, Good Health, that's attracting a ton of traffic.
Oh, yeah, Good Health is killing it. They're pulling in like 1 million visitors every single month.
1 million! That's incredible. But how do they manage to stand out in the crowded world of health and wellness blogs?
Well, they've got this super smart strategy called what is it? Oh, yeah, a topic cluster approach.
Nice. A topic cluster approach. What's that all about?
Basically, they organize their content around specific themes, but they link everything together in a way that, well, Google loves it. It helps with SEO.
I see. So it's not just random articles scattered everywhere. They have a system for it.
Exactly. They're creating a whole web of interconnected content. So say they have a topic cluster about hair loss.
Right, hair loss. Let's go with that.
They'll have blog posts about the causes of hair loss, the emotional impact, the different treatment options, and of
And
course,
subtle mentions of their own product.
you know it. It's like they're giving you all this useful info, becoming the experts, and naturally leading you to the solution they offer.
It's a smart way to position themselves as a trusted resource while promoting their products. Very strategic.
And it's working. They've got an amazing backlink profile. Like major websites like Apple, CNN, Healthline, they're all linking to Hims content.
Wow, that's a testament to the quality and authority of their content. Those backlinks are like gold in the world of SEO.
Totally. Okay, so they're rocking organic content. But let's be real, they're not afraid to spend some serious dough on paid search too.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Paid search is a huge part of their strategy.
From what I've seen, they're shelling out like $500,000 every month just on U.S. desktop ads.
$500,000. That's a hefty budget.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, are they bidding on their own brand name? Because I assume they'd already rank high organically for that.
That's what I thought too. But guess what? They are. They're actually spending a good chunk of their budget on branded keywords.
Branded keywords, huh? That's interesting. Why do you think they're doing that?
Well, I think it's about like protecting their turf. They've put so much effort into building brand awareness, they can't risk losing potential customers to competitors.
Ah, I see. They're being defensive. They're making sure that even if someone searches specifically for Hims, the first thing they see is a Hims ad. Smart move.
Right. Like, hey, we're Hims, remember us. Don't even bother checking out the competition.
It reinforces their dominance and ensures they capture those high-intent searches. And of course, they're being very strategic about how they craft those ads.
Oh, for sure. They're not just throwing any old ad out there. They're using benefit-driven language, those credibility triggers we talked about earlier.
It's all about maximizing clicks and conversions. Every dollar counts. Now, something that caught my eye is that they're spending way less on mobile search ads.
Yeah, which seems strange because their website is clearly made for mobile, first and foremost.
It does seem counterintuitive, but it suggests they're letting data guide their decisions. Perhaps their mobile traffic just isn't converting as well as desktop for whatever reason.
That's a great point. It's like even with all that money, they're not just throwing it around blindly. They're looking at the data, figuring out what works, and focusing their efforts there.
Exactly, and that's a lesson we can all learn from. It's not about the size of your budget. It's about being smart with your resources.
Okay, so we've talked about how Hims is like strategically spending millions on marketing. But let's actually break down some of their tactics.
Yeah, let's get into the nitty-gritty. What are they doing that's so effective?
One thing that jumps out is how much they focus on like what their products actually do for you.
Yeah.
The benefits.
Ah, the benefits, yes. It's not just about features, it's about how those features improve your life.
Right. So it's not just like, hey, our hair loss treatment contains minoxidil. It's more like, hey, get your confidence back with thicker, fuller hair.
Exactly. They tap into the emotional side of things. Because let's be real, hair loss isn't just about the hair, it's about how it makes you feel.
Totally.
Yeah.
And remember those credibility things we talked about?
Yeah.
They like trusted by.
Oh, the credibility triggers, yeah.
Yeah. They sprinkle those all over their ads too.
Makes sense. It adds legitimacy, especially when you're dealing with sensitive topics.
Right.
Like clinically proven, trusted by a million subscribers, award-winning.
It's like they're saying, hey, don't just take our word for it. Look at all these happy customers and experts.
Smart. Now, we touched on how they use both user-generated content and those like high-production TV-style ads. Why do you think that mix works so well?
Well, UGC, it just feels more authentic, like you're hearing it from a real person.
Yeah, like a friend recommending something.
Exactly. But UGC can sometimes lack polish. That's where the high production stuff comes in. It elevates the brand.
Yeah, it makes it feel more aspirational, like something you want to be a part of.
And what's interesting is they haven't completely ditched UGC. They seem to use it very specifically.
Yeah, maybe for certain products or campaigns where that like real person touch is super important.
Makes sense. So it's not a one-size-fits-all. They're constantly adapting, testing things out. Now, even with the best ads in the world, if you're not showing them to the right people, it's all for nothing.
Targeting, yes. Absolutely crucial. And Hims knows this.
They're not just like blasting their ads to everyone and their grandma.
They're using data to figure out exactly who their ideal customer is.
So men dealing with specific issues, right? Hair loss, ED, skincare. They know who they're looking for.
And they're finding them on the platforms where they hang out.
So efficient.
Mm-hmm.
No point in annoying people with ads for stuff they don't care about.
Exactly. It's about finding the people who are actually interested and ready to take action.
And of course, there's all the testing and tweaking they do behind the scenes.
Ah, yes, testing. Not the most glamorous part of marketing, but so essential.
They're constantly trying different versions of ads, headlines, all that stuff.
Always looking for that winning formula.
It's like a science experiment.
Yeah.
And when they find something that works, bam, They scale it up big time.
That aggressive reinvestment we talked about,
Mm.
it all relies on this data-driven testing. They're not just guessing.
It shows you can have a huge budget, but if you're not using data to make smart decisions, you're wasting it.
Absolutely. Now, something we haven't really touched on yet is the power of branding.
Branding, yeah. Hims has definitely got that nailed. You see their logo, their colors, and you know exactly what they're about.
It's clean, modern, sophisticated, appeals to their target audience perfectly.
And their messaging too, right? It's straight to the point, all about how their products can help you feel better.
They strike that balance between aspirational and relatable. Like, we get you and we can help.
And it works, especially in a market that's traditionally been like either super clinical or hyper masculine.
Tim's found that sweet spot, masculine but sensitive, approachable but still aspirational.
It's like a master class in branding. It's not just about visuals and slogans. It's about the whole feeling you get from the brand.
And Hims has definitely created a strong positive feeling around their brand. Okay, before we move on, I want to circle back to something we talked about earlier.
Oh, you mean the whole organic video thing?
Yeah, their YouTube and TikTok, they haven't quite cracked that nut yet. Why do you think that is?
It is weird, right? They're killing it with paid video, but their organic stuff just isn't taking off.
Maybe they're just not focusing on it right now. Their priorities could be elsewhere.
Yeah, that's possible. Or maybe they just haven't found the right formula for those platforms yet.
It's worth exploring further because those platforms have so much potential.
Maybe they need to approach it differently.
Right.
Like, what works for a paid ad doesn't always work for organic content.
That's true. It's a different beast. And each platform has its own quirks.
So we spent a lot of time talking about Hims, their marketing, how they're crushing it.
Really interesting company, for sure. A lot to learn from.
But there's that one thing, right, that kind of bugs me. Their organic video, like on YouTube and TikTok, it's just not.
It's not quite there yet.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like they haven't figured out the secret sauce.
right.
They're so good with paid video. But organic, not so much. So what's the deal? Let's try to figure it out.
Okay, detective hats on.
All right, first thought, maybe they're just like not really focusing on it right now.
Yeah, it's possible their resources are probably stretched pretty thin with all that paid advertising.
Right. They're putting millions into those campaigns. So organic video might just be like lower on the priority list.
Makes sense. They have to allocate their resources strategically, focus on what's giving them the biggest bang for their buck.
But even so, wouldn't it be smart to at least like try to build some momentum on those platforms? I mean, YouTube and TikTok, huge potential reach.
Oh, absolutely. No question about it. So that brings us to another possibility. Maybe they are trying, but they just haven't found the right approach yet.
Okay, so let's say that's it. They're trying, but something's not working. What could it be?
Well, each platform is kind of like its own little world, right?
Hmm.
Different audiences, different algorithms.
Yeah, what works on Instagram might totally flop on TikTok.
Exactly. So it's not as simple as just taking your paid video ads and slapping them on YouTube.
You got to tailor the content to the platform and the people using it.
Right. And understand what kind of content people actually want to watch on those platforms.
Like YouTube, maybe people are looking for longer videos, more in-depth stuff. But TikTok, short, catchy, keep it moving kind of vibe.
Totally. And it's not just about the length, the tone, the style, the whole vibe has to be right.
So maybe they need to like completely rethink their organic video strategy. What works for their paid ads might not be the right fit.
Could be. Paid ads tend to be very product focused, but organic content. You need to bring something else to the table. Value, entertainment, something that grabs people's attention.
So what could Hims do differently? Like what kind of organic video content could actually work for them?
Well, I think storytelling could be a really powerful tool.
Storytelling, yeah. People love a good story.
It's a great way to connect with viewers on an emotional level, and it gives them a reason to care.
They could share stories of real guys, who have used their products and seen results, or even create like fictional stories, but make them relatable, show the struggles guys face.
Exactly. Show the emotional side of things, the feeling of confidence, of being comfortable in your own skin.
And on TikTok, maybe they could use more humor, a little bit of a lighter touch.
Definitely. Play around with different formats, trends, see what resonates with that audience.
Okay, what else? They could do some educational content too, right?
Oh, that's a great idea.
People are always looking for info about health and wellness. And Hims, with their medical expertise, could really become a
Yeah.
trusted source.
They could do videos about hair loss, ED, skincare, nutrition, fitness. So much potential there.
And they've got all those medical professionals on staff, so it's like instant credibility.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. They could even do a series, like follow a guy's journey to better health and well-being, show the whole process, the ups and downs, the transformation.
Okay, so we've given him some ideas for organic video, but stepping back, what are the bigger lessons here? Like, what can other businesses learn from all this?
I think the first thing is you got to have a solid foundation.
Right, you can't just market a crappy product and expect it to magically succeed.
Exactly. So focus on building something people actually want and need. That's the starting point.
And then you got to let the data guide you. Like Hims, they're constantly testing, analyzing, making adjustments based on what the numbers tell them.
Data is king. It takes the guesswork out of it. And you don't need a massive budget to track your results and learn from them.
Another big one is understanding your target audience, right?
Oh, absolutely. It sounds obvious, but so many businesses miss this.
You got to know who you're selling to, what they care about, where they hang out online.
Otherwise, you're just shooting in the dark.
And lastly, branding. Can't forget branding. Hims has created such a strong brand identity. It resonates with their target audience perfectly.
Branding is more than just a logo. It's the whole feeling you get from a company, the message they convey, the experience they create.
So there you have it. A deep dive into the world of Hims and their marketing mastery.
We've seen their successes, their challenges, and hopefully we've learned a thing or two along the way.
Remember, marketing is a constantly evolving game. You gotta stay curious, stay flexible, and never stop learning.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, keep experimenting, keep pushing the boundaries, and most importantly, keep having fun with it.